I used to think that bringing in a lot of revenue, building a business was the goal to chase, which the world tells you that in order for you to have a successful business, you need to just bring in a lot of money, you need to do this, and you need to have all this, you have all this revenue come up, you need to have $100 million business. The only thing that actually matters is the profits. If you have $100 million business, but you make zero profits, why would you be in business? You wouldn't be in business. So why would you be doing activities that are only making you money, but they're not making you profit? They're bringing in revenue, but they're not making profit. They were making you a lot of income, but they were not buying you freedom. Don't mistake movement for achievement. Welcome to the Young CEO Podcast. I'm your host, Kropf. I went from making $250 per week with no purpose to leading a multi-million-dollar business. Now, I help faith-driven entrepreneurs build businesses that honor God and create real freedom. This podcast was built to equip you with practical tools, real stories, and a reminder that you're called to lead starting now. You don't need more hustle, you need more clarity. Hey, today's episode, we're going to be talking about profit-making activities versus money-making activities. And this is one of the most important lessons that I've learned growing a business, growing in leadership, growing myself, and knowing what is important in my own life. And I want you guys to take note of this episode because I believe that it will change your life because it has changed my life. And it's made me realize the most important things to track in your business, in your personal finances, in your own personal life. It doesn't matter if you work for someone, if you have a business or you're in ministry, it doesn't matter. This is most important because your activities are the things that you're tracking every day. Are they making a lot of money? Are they making a lot of revenue? But they might not be bringing you purpose, or they might not be bringing you impacts. So it's going to be a packed full episode. So I used to think, I want to go tell you a personal story. I used to think that bringing in a lot of revenue, building a business was the goal to chase, which the world tells you that in order for you to have a successful business, you need to just bring in a lot of money, you need to do this, and you need to have all this, you have all this revenue come up, you need to have $100 million business. But what they don't tell you is the only thing that actually matters is the profits. If you have $100 million business, but you make zero profits, why would you be in business? You wouldn't be in business. So why would you be doing activities that are only making you money, but they're not making you profit? They're bringing in revenue, but they're not making profit. And I remember there was a season in my life that I was doing a lot of those activities and they were making me a lot of income, but they were not buying you freedom. Money, activities make you income, but they don't buy you freedom because there's no profits. I was stuck in a loop until I got a hold of the kingdom and I started understanding kingdom mindset. I started understanding that I started tracking my time. I started going systems. I started going the leaders around me, processes around me, because I wanted to buy back my time, because I started instead of doing money-making activities, I want to start doing profit-making activities. And so I want to get into some teaching this morning that profit is what remains after the distractions are removed. Don't mistake movement for achievement. Don't mistake movement for achievement. That's a big one. Are you running in circles or are you building systems? Are you doing the things that are creating money activities or are you doing the things that are advancing the kingdom? That was a big wake up for me is, am I doing things that are advancing the kingdom? And teaching number 3 is kingdom profit includes the people, the legacy, the alignment. God's idea of success isn't just income, it's impact. I want you to understand, what are some money-making activities that I have in my own life? What are some things? Write those things down and start thinking of what are some profit-making activities that I can bring into my business that would take my business to the next level. So I want you guys to audit your week. Get your calendar, ask yourself, what's moving the needle? Is this a money-making activity or is this a profit-making activity? Is this going to make me $100,000, but there's no profit going to be involved? Or am I making me $100,000, but it's going to take my peace away? What do you want? What's the end result that you want? You want to make impact or you want to live a stressful life? You have to make that decision. You can't be a visionary and then be a laborer at the same time. You can't have profit-making activities, but then you want to chase the money. So I want you guys to write those things down and start making decisions based off of profits versus just money making activities.